Deadpool, real name Wade Winston Wilson, is a fictional anti-hero appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. Created by writer Fabian Nicieza and artist-writer Rob Liefeld, the character first appeared in the New Mutants '98 cover dated Feb. 1991. Deadpool was depicted as supervillain when he made his first appearance in the New Mutants and later in issues of X-Force, but has since evolved into the role of an anti-hero. Deadpool is a disfigured and mentally unstable mercenary with the superhuman ability of an accelerated healing factor. He is known as the Merc with a mouth because of his talkative nature and tendency to break the fourth wall, which is used by writers to create humorous effect. Ryan Reynolds portrayed the character in the 2009 film X-Men Origins Wolverine and will reprise the role in the upcoming 2016 film Deadpool, as a different version of the character that is closer to the comic book version. Publication history: 1990s. Created by writer Fabian Nicieza and artist-writer Rob Liefeld, Deadpool made his first appearance in the pages of the New Mutants '98 cover dated February 1991. According to Nicieza, Liefeld came up with the character's visual design and name, and Nicieza himself came up with the character's speech mannerisms. Rob Liefeld, a fan of the Teen Titans comics, showed his new character to then-writer Fabian Nicieza. Upon seeing the costume and noting his characteristics, killer with super agility, Nicieza contacted Liefeld, saying this is Deathstroke from Teen Titans. Nicieza gave Deadpool the real name of Wade Wilson as an inside joke to being related to Slade Wilson, Deathstroke. In his first appearance, Deadpool is hired by Tolliver to attack Cable and the New Mutants. After subsequently appearing in X-Force as a recurring character, Deadpool began making guest appearances in a number of different Marvel Comics titles such as The Avengers, Daredevil, and Heroes for Hire. In 1993, the character received his own miniseries, titled The Circle Chase, written by Fabian Nicieza and penciled by Joe Madureira. It was a relative success, and Deadpool starred in a second, self-titled miniseries written in 1994 by Mark Waid, penciled by Ian Churchill, and inked by Jason Temujin Minor and Bud La Rosa. Waid later commented, "Frankly, if I'd known Deadpool was such a creep when I agreed to write the miniseries, I wouldn't have done it. Someone who hasn't paid for their crimes presents a problem for me." In 1997, Deadpool was given his own ongoing title, initially written by Joe Kelly, with the newcomer Ed McGuinness as an artist. Deadpool became an action-comedy parody of the cosmic drama, anti-hero-heavy comics of the time. The series firmly established his supporting cast, including his prisoner, den mother Blind Elle and his best friend Weasel. The ongoing series gained cult popularity for its unorthodox main character and its balance of angst and pop culture slapstick, and the character became less of a villain, though the element of his moral ambiguity remained. The writer Joe Kelly noted, "With Deadpool, we could do anything we wanted because everybody just expected the book to be cancelled every 5 seconds, so nobody was paying attention. And we could get away with it." The series was taken over by Christopher Priest, who noted that he found Kelly's issues to be complex and a little hostile to new readers like me, and that by issue 37, he realized that it was okay to make Deadpool look stupid. 2000's Deadpool lasted until issue 69, at which point it was relaunched as a new title by Gail Simone with a similar character called Agent X in 2002. This occurred during a line-wide revamp of X-Men-related comics, with Cable becoming Soldier X and X-Force becoming X-Statix. Simone notes that, "When I took the Deadpool job, the revamp hadn't been planned, so it was a complete surprise. Thankfully, we heard about it in time to make adjustments to the early scripts. It appeared that Deadpool was killed in an explosion fighting the aristocratic and telepathic villain known as the Black Swan." Weeks later, a mysterious figure showed up at the apartment of Deadpool's manager, Sandy Brandenburg. The man took the name Alex Hayden, and together they started Agency X, with Hayden dubbed Agent X after the company. Most believed that Hayden was Deadpool suffering from amnesia. The title character of Agent X was eventually revealed not to be Deadpool, and the climax of that series saw the original character restored. Simone left the title after 7 issues due to creative differences with the series editor, but then returned to conclude with issues 13 to 15. Deadpool's next starring appearance came in 2004 with the launch of Cable and Deadpool, written by Fabian Nicieza, where Deadpool became partnered with his former enemy, Cable, teaming up in various adventures. This title was cancelled with issue 50 and replaced by a new Cable series in March 2008. Deadpool then appeared briefly in the Wolverine Origins title by writer Daniel Way before Way and Paco Medina launched another Deadpool title in September 2008. Medina was the main series artist, with Carla Barberi filling in on the first issue after the Secret Invasion tie-in. A new Deadpool ongoing series written by Daniel Way with artist Paco Medina began as a Secret Invasion tie-in. In the first arc, the character is seen working with Nick Fury to steal data on how to kill the Skrull Queen Frank. Norman Osborn steals the information that Deadpool had stolen from the Skrulls, and subsequent stories deal with the fallout from that. Writer Daniel Way explained, the first thing Osborn does to try and take care of the situation is to bring in a hired gun to take Deadpool down, which would be Tiger Shark. That would be the standard thing to do, but of course everything about Deadpool is non-standard. So it goes completely awry and Norman has to get more serious about things. The story also sees the return of Bob, agent of Hydra. I don't want the book to become Deadpool and Friends, so characters will drift in and out, but Bob was someone I definitely wanted to bring in. It just had to be at the perfect moment, and when I was putting this storyline together, that moment presented itself. This all led directly to a confrontation with the new Thunderbolts in magnum opus, which crossed over between Deadpool Volume 2, 8, 9 and Thunderbolts 130-131. Thunderbolts writer Andy Diggle said, "It's a natural progression for Deadpool to go after Norman, and for Norman to send his personal hit squad after Deadpool." In Deadpool 15, Deadpool decides to become a hero, resulting in conflicts with proper heroes like Spider-Man, who he had recently encountered in The Amazing Spider-Man 611 as part of the Gauntlet, and leading to a 3-issue arc where he takes on Hitmonkey, a character who debuted in the same month in a digital, then print, one-shot. Another ongoing Deadpool series, Deadpool Merc with a Mouth, launched in July 2009, written by Victor Gischler, with art by Bong Dazzo. In it, Deadpool teams with Deadpool from Marvel's Zombies 3 and 4. A special anniversary issue titled Deadpool 900 was released in October 2009. It features stories written by several authors, with the main feature written by the original Deadpool series writer Joe Kelly and drawn by Deadpool's creator Rob Liefeld. A third Deadpool ongoing series, Deadpool Team Up, launched in November 2009, with issue numbers counting in reverse starting with issue 899, written by Fred Van Lente, with art by Dalibor Talajic. This series features Deadpool teaming up with different heroes from the Marvel Universe in each issue, such as Hercules. Deadpool also joined the cast of the new X-Force team. 2010's another Deadpool series, titled Deadpool Corps, also by Gischler, was released in April 2010. Besides Deadpool himself, this series featured alternate versions of Deadpool, including Lady Deadpool, who debuted in Deadpool Merc with a Mouth 7, Deadpool, the Marvel Zombies universe incarnation, now reduced to a severed head, and 2 new characters, Kidpool, a child, and Dogpool, a dog. The series lasted 12 issues. Marvel also published Deadpool titles through the Marvel Knights and Max imprints, Deadpool, Wade Wilson's War, by Dwayne Swarchinski and Jason Pearson, and Deadpool Max by David Lapham and Kyle Baker. Deadpool Volume 2 is written by Daniel Way and drawn by Ali Acute Garza. In the story arc Dead, Wade is cured of his healing ability and becomes mortal. As a side effect, he also has his old, unscarred face once again. Although he spent the majority of the story arc looking forward to dying, he suppresses his desires in order to protect his friend and sidekick Hydra Bob. After he lost his healing factor, Wilson claimed he felt more alive than ever. However, after a harsh beating from Intelligentsia, Wade realized that he had let his ability to heal compensate for skill, so he decided to ask for help with Taskmaster in training. Taskmaster asked Wilson to help him steal PIM particles from S.H.I.E.L.D., but actually he allowed Black Box to study Wade in order to prepare his vengeance against Wilson, even letting him know Deadpool lost his healing factor. Wade managed to defeat Black Box, Black Tom and Black Swan, but in the process his face was burned and disfigured again. Former FBI agent Allison Kemp wanted to get revenge on Deadpool because of his involvement in an accident which left her in a wheelchair, and she called other enemies of Deadpool such as T-Ray and Slayback and trained them to kill Deadpool. Deadpool infiltrated their base and managed to get T-Ray and Slayback killed. When Kemp was about to kill herself in an explosion which would kill Wade in the process, he convinced her not to attack him. In that moment, he was surprised by the returned evil Deadpool, who informed Wade that the serum they took was not permanent, reasons why Wade's face didn't heal or a finger he lost grew back, so Wade would return after evil Deadpool shot him. Daniel Way's Deadpool series concluded with issue 63. As part of Marvel's Marvel Now initiative, a new Deadpool ongoing series was launched, written by Brian Posehn and Jerry Duggan and illustrated by Tony Moore. He is also a member of the Thunderbolts. In the 27th issue of his new series, as part of All New Marvel Now, Deadpool was married for the 3rd time. Initially a secret, his bride was revealed in the webcomic Deadpool, The Gauntlet, to be Shikla, Queen of the Undead. Deadpool also discovers that he has a daughter by the name of Eleanor from a former flame of Deadpool named Carmelita. During the events of Original Sin, it was revealed that Deadpool was tricked into killing his parents by a scientist known as Butler, who abducted Eleanor and gave her to his brother. However, Deadpool does not know about it. Much later, he clashed with Carnage, and Carnage vowed revenge on Deadpool for tricking him into wounding Shriek. During the Axis storyline, Deadpool appears as a member of Magneto's unnamed supervillain group during the fight against Red Skull's Red Onslaught form. The group of villains becomes inverted to heroes, after a spell cast by Scarlet Witch and Doctor Doom. This group was later named the Astonishing Avengers. This Deadpool, referred to as Zenpool, was pivotal in turning Apocalypse to fighting the inverted Avengers. Deadpool's death occurs in Deadpool 250, involving story ideas that core writers Jerry Duggan and Brian Posehn have had in mind since the beginning of the Now series. Issue 250 was technically issue 45 but was so named as it was the cumulative 250th issue of the character's solo series. Deadpool faces off in a final showdown with Ultimatum and Flag Smasher, killing all of them, and gives up the Deadpool identity, wishing to have a better life. He, along with his family and friends, and presumably everyone on Earth, are all killed when the Earth collides with an alternate universe's Earth. Deadpool laments that the Secret Wars should have stayed an Avengers event, but then dies at peace, content that everybody else is dying with him. 8 months after the events of Secret Wars and the restoration of Earth, Deadpool is seen working for Steve Rogers. After stealing some potentially life-saving chemicals needed by an ailing rogue, he is offered membership in the Avengers Unity Squad. Fictional character biography. The character's backstory has been presented as vague and subject to change, and within the narrative he is unable to remember his personal history due to a mental condition. Whether or not his name was even Wade Wilson is subject to speculation, since one of his nemesis, T-Ray, claims in Deadpool 33 that he is the real Wade Wilson and that Deadpool is a vicious murderer who stole his identity. There have been other dubious stories about his history. At one point the supervillain Loki claimed to be his father. Frequently, revelations are later retconned or ignored altogether, and in one issue, Deadpool himself joked that whether he is actually Wade Wilson depends on which the writer or the reader prefers. In the 2011-2012 series, Deadpool is implied, in a flashback, to be the real Wade Wilson, the deranged and already partly insane son of a decorated war hero, often daydreaming childish and dangerous ideas, spurring him to the mercenary lifestyle. He has professed to be Canadian, even though the original story had him joining the Weapon X program after being kicked out of the United States Army Special Forces. Personality. Deadpool is aware that he is a fictional comic book character. He commonly breaks the fourth wall, which is done by few other characters in the Marvel Universe, and this is used to humorous effect. He often has conversations with his two internal monologues, which are shown as caption boxes in his panels. In Deadpool 28 it is revealed that the villain Dr. Bong, a foe of Howard the Duck, is the logical voice appearing in yellow captions, and in Deadpool Annual 1, 2014, it is revealed that Madcap, a foe of Captain America, is the psychotic voice appearing in white captions with the typewriter serif. Deadpool is depicted as having an accelerated healing factor, which not only prevents him from being permanently injured through enhanced cell regeneration throughout his body, but also causes psychosis and mental instability, as his neurons are also affected by the accelerated regeneration. It is thought that while his psychoses are a handicap, they are also one of his assets, as they make him an extremely unpredictable opponent. Taskmaster, who has photoreflexive memory which allows him to copy anyone's fighting skills by observation, was unable to defeat Deadpool due to his chaotic and improvised fighting style. Taskmaster has also stated that Deadpool is an expert at distracting his opponents. The character is known for his talkative nature, dubbing him the Merc with a mouth. It is sometimes implied that his healing factor merely exacerbated an underlying mental issue, with Wilson having been a withdrawn, disturbed youth. This is demonstrated when Deadpool at one point lost his healing factor but did not regain his sanity. Despite all this, Deadpool has a strong sense of core morality. In Uncanny X-Force, he storms out after Wolverine tries to rationalize Phantom X killing Apocalypse, who was at the time in a child form. After Wolverine argues that Deadpool is motivated solely by money, Archangel reveals that Deadpool never cashed any of his checks. Sexual orientation. In December 2013, Deadpool was confirmed as being omnisexual by Deadpool writer Jerry Duggan via Twitter. When asked about Deadpool's sexuality, co-creator Fabian Nicieza stated, "Deadpool is whatever sexual inclination his brain tells him he is in that moment. And then the moment passes." Nicieza has also stated, "Not trying to be dismissive, but readers always want to make a character their own, and often that is to the exclusion of what the character might mean to other fans. I've been dogged with the DP sexuality questions for years. It is a bit tiring. He is nitrogen monoxide sex and all sexes. He is yours and everyone else's. So not dismissive, but rather the epitome of inclusive. Powers and abilities. Deadpool's primary power is an accelerated healing factor, depicted by various writers at differing levels of efficiency. Artificially endowed by the Weapon X program, this enables him to regenerate any destroyed tissue at a superhuman rate, as well as making him immune to diseases. Deadpool's healing factor is strong enough that he has previously survived complete incineration and decapitation more than once. Although his head normally has to be reunited with his body to heal the wound, he was able to regrow his head after having it pulverized by the Hulk. Deadpool's brain cells are similarly affected, with dying neurons being rejuvenated at a super-accelerated rate. This allows Deadpool to recover from any head wounds, and it renders him nearly invulnerable to psychic and telepathic powers, although this ability is inconsistent. It has been revealed that at the time that his healing ability was given to him, Deadpool suffered from some form of cancer. After the healing factor was given to him, it made his normal cells as well as his cancerous cells unable to die, giving him a heavily scarred appearance beneath his suit. Deadpool's body is highly resistant to most drugs and toxins, due to his enhanced cell regeneration. For example, it is extremely difficult for him to become intoxicated. He can be affected by certain drugs such as tranquilizers, if he is exposed to a large enough dosage. Deadpool is effectively immortal, although he has died several times. He is still alive 800 years in the future when the new X-Force encounters him. In addition, Thanos once declared that Deadpool should consider yourself cursed with life, out of jealousy over Deadpool's status as Lady Death's love interest. His enemy T-Ray later resurrected him, under Thanos' instruction, using an artifact he had given him. Later, Deadpool was informed that Thanos had placed a curse on him, and tracked Thanos down. He revealed that the only thing keeping Wade alive was his spell of darkest necromancy. Although Thanos removed this curse in order to kill Deadpool, he felt forced to immediately bring him back using a fusion of necromancy and science in order to request his aid in tracking down Mistress Death, who had gone missing. Deadpool is a highly trained assassin and mercenary, adept in multiple forms of martial arts, and an expert swordsman and marksman. Although in earlier years he was originally portrayed as having superhuman strength, he is no longer depicted as having this ability. Over the years, Deadpool has owned a number of personal teleportation devices. Also, during Deadpool's first ongoing comic, he possesses a device which projected holographic disguises, allowing him to go undercover or conceal his appearance. He also has a magic satchel containing all of his unlimited weaponry and ammo. Deadpool is multilingual, with the ability to speak fluently in German, Spanish, ASL and Japanese, in addition to his native English. Since Deadpool is aware that he is a fictional character, he uses this knowledge to his advantage to deal with opponents or gain knowledge to which he should not normally have access, such as reading past issues of his and others' comics. Deadpool even knows he has a Wikipedia article and hopes his fans keep his page updated. Other versions. Age of Apocalypse. In the Age of Apocalypse timeline, Deadpool was redubbed Deadman Wade and reimagined as a bitter, humorless member of Apocalypse's Pale Riders, having received his flawed healing factor from Apocalypse's eugenics program. Sent with his team to invade the Savage Land, he attempted to unleash chaos upon the Sanctuary, but was killed by Nightcrawler, who teleported his head off his body and hid it in a crater. Later, Deadman Wade was revealed to be resurrected like many of the other Alpha mutants. Captain America, who won't wield the shield. The World War II-era version of Deadpool is introduced in the one-shot parody issue Captain America, Who Won't Wield the Shield. Frederick Weezy Wilson, nephew of President Woodrow Wilson, is a soldier who is experimented on by the Nazis to become Weapon X. Despite the nature of the story as a period piece, Wilson peppers his speech with anachronistic slang from the 1990s. Deadpool 2099. In a potential future taking place in 2099, Deadpool is Warda Wilson, the daughter of Wade and Shigella. She collaborates with a gang inspired by Hydra agent Bob and is wanted by the police. She has taken an older Wade prisoner and forces him to watch political debates while chained up, angered that he's ruined her life and hopes she can use him to find her mother. Wade reveals he and Shigella had a falling out after the death of Ellie, which led to a battle between the two former lovers in hell. Deadpool Corps. In the 12-issue series Deadpool Corps and prequel series Prelude to Deadpool Corps, Deadpool is joined by several alternate versions of himself from different universes to create a supergroup. Lady Deadpool and Headpool return from their previous appearances in Deadpool Merc with a mouth, joined by newcomers Kidpool, a child version of Deadpool who attends Professor X's school, and Dogpool, a dog endowed with Deadpool's familiar healing factor. They are later joined by the Champion, going by the name Champion Pool. Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. In the storyline Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, the X-Men send Deadpool to a mental hospital for therapy. The doctor treating him is actually Psycho Man in disguise, who attempts to torture and brainwash Deadpool into becoming his personal minion. The procedure fails, but leaves Deadpool even more mentally unhinged with a nihilistic view. As a result, he kills Psycho Man by repeatedly smashing him against a desk and begins assassinating every superhero and supervillain on Earth, starting with the Fantastic Four in an apparent attempt to rebel against his comic book creators. The book ends with him breaking into the real world and confronting the Marvel writers and artists who are currently writing the book. He says to the reader that once he's done with this universe, "I'll find you soon enough." Deadpool illustrated. After the events of Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, Deadpool has killed many versions of Marvel superheroes and villains across the multiverse to no effect, and comes to a conclusion that infinite alternate versions of the heroes and villains he killed exist. In the series, Deadpool hires a team of scientists to help him get rid of all Marvel characters. One scientist gets the Merc with a mouth, a device that transports him to the IDverse, a universe that contains the classic characters that inspired Marvel characters. In each book, he confronts multiple enemies such as the Headless Horseman, who inspired Green Goblin and Ghost Rider, Little Women, Black Widow, She-Hulk, and more. Deadpool kills Deadpool. On April 4, 2013, Cullen Bunn revealed that, after the events of Deadpool Illustrated, the next and last part of the Deadpool chronology will be Deadpool kills Deadpool, and that the Deadpool that appeared in Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe and Illustrated is called Dreadpool, and, in the series, he is hunting down all versions of Deadpool, while our Deadpool, the light-hearted Merc with a mouth, is hunting down Dreadpool, his own murderous version. Bunn stated that the Deadpool Corps will appear along with many other versions of Deadpool and new versions. The first book was released in July 2013. The first issue opens with Deadpool dealing with yet another attack by Ultimatum, after which the Deadpool Corps quickly ropes the titular character into the crisis. Over the course of the storyline, the Deadpool Corps is killed, not including Deadpool, who was already killed prior to the events of the storyline, and it concludes in issue 4, where Deadpool clashes with Dreadpool, who is eventually shown the error of his ways and killed by Deadpool in vengeance for causing the death of his friends. Somehow, our Deadpool finds his way back, but not before the reader is aware that evil Deadpool is still alive and scheming. Deadpool, Merc with a mouth. Several alternate incarnations of Deadpool are introduced in the series Deadpool, Merc with a mouth. Attempting to return Deadpool to the Marvel Zombies universe, Deadpool encounters multiple versions of himself as they exist in other universes, including a female version of himself named Lady Deadpool, Major Wade Wilson, a militant but sane version of Deadpool, and the Deadpool Kid, Kittypool, a cowboy version of Deadpool who exists within a universe resembling the Wild West. Deadpool Pope. Deadpool Pope is a 4-issue limited series from writers Mike Benson and Adam Glass and artist Lawrence Campbell, with Deadpool set in the 1950s, drawing on pulp fiction, similar to the Marvel noir fictional universe. Marvel 2997. In Messiah War, Deadpool is locked in a freezer for 800 years. When he escapes, he is captured by the armed forces of the few surviving humans left. He helps Cable to get Hope Summers back from Strife, who is later revealed to be inside this version of Deadpool's head. After seemingly defeating Strife, this version of Deadpool is quickly ripped in half and appears to die shortly after, his last words being a joke on severance pay. House of M. In the House of M reality, Wade Wilson was a field commander and active agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. During one of his missions, Agent Wilson contacted S.H.I.E.L.D. They had to patch him through the TB-Link satellite to communicate with him. Hulked Out Heroes. Appearing first in Hulk 21, Deadpool is hulked out near the end of the Fall of the Hulks storyline. A 2-part miniseries called World War Hulks, Hulked Out Heroes will follow Hulkpool as he travels back in time to kill himself, disrupting the origin stories of many heroes as he goes. Marvel Zombies. In the first Marvel Zombies limited series, a zombie version of Deadpool is seen fighting the Silver Surfer. The zombie Deadpool eventually loses his body and appears as a disembodied head beginning in Marvel Zombies 3. This incarnation of Deadpool, frequently referred to as Headpool, entered the mainstream Marvel continuity when he is encountered and captured by the original Deadpool in Deadpool, Merc with a Mouth. Along with several other alternate versions of Deadpool, Headpool went on to appear in Deadpool Corps with a propeller beanie mounted to his head, allowing him flight. Ultimate Marvel. The Ultimate Marvel version of Deadpool is Sergeant Wade Wilson, a Gulf War veteran. Depicted as an anti-mutant extremist, he is a cyborg and leader of the Reavers who hunt mutants for sport on a reality TV show. Beneath the mask, Deadpool appears to be a skull with exposed brain, his skin formed by a transparent shell. He also has the ability to mimic an individual's appearance and voice, though not their powers. Weapon X Days of Future. Now in the alternate Earth ending of the Weapon X comic, Deadpool is recruited by Wolverine to be part of a new team of X-Men after the old team is killed. He joins, claiming Wolverine only wants him as the token human. This version of Deadpool is killed by Agent Zero's anti-healing factor corrosive acid. This version of Deadpool speaks in white text boxes. X-Men 92. In the Secret Wars battle world based on the 90s X-Men animated series, Deadpool is a member of X-Force with Cable, Bishop, Archangel, Psylocke, and Domino. Reception. Deadpool was ranked 182nd on Wizard magazine's list of the top 200 comic book characters of all time, ranked 45th on Empire magazine's list of the 50 greatest comic book characters, and placed 31st on IGN's list of the top 100 comic book heroes. In other media television, Deadpool had made several non-voiced cameo appearances in the X-Men animated series, a flashback alongside Wolverine in one of Sabretooth's mental sessions with Professor Charles Xavier in the episode Deadly Reunions. Morph shape-shifts into Deadpool's form in the episode Whatever It Takes, and Xavier's dark side projects the character's image to attack Wolverine in the episode The Phoenix Saga, Part 2, The Dark Shroud. Deadpool has a brief cameo appearance in the Marvel anime X-Men episode Destiny. Deadpool appears in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon series. The character is alluded on a timely cover during a fight with Sabretooth and Freaky and as Harry Osborn's video game character in the Iron Octopus. Deadpool personally appears in the episode Ultimate Deadpool voiced by Will Friedle. This version was a former S.H.I.E.L.D. trainee with Iron Fist, Nova, Power Man and White Tiger before dropping out to be a mercenary. Despite, and because of Spider-Man's growing dislike for Deadpool's antics, attitudes and willingness to kill, or unalive, as Deadpool says, they both end up fighting Taskmaster and each other for Critical Shield. Data about the secret identities of America's superheroes. After giving a few false origin stories, as well mocking Wolverine, Deadpool finally reveals that he had been a street kid taken in by Nick Fury to be a hero, though he later decided being a mercenary was easier than carrying morals and a conscience. Ultimately, Spider-Man acknowledges that the web-slinger himself could have turned out like Deadpool had circumstances in his own life been different. He is shown capable of negating Taskmaster's ability to copy someone's fighting style, utilizing an unpredictable fighting style that parodies various dance moves. Deadpool appeared in the Marvel Disc Wars, The Avengers episodes The Forbidden Hero appears, and Chris in The Moment of Truth, voiced by Takehito Koyasu. Film. Deadpool appears in the animated film Hulk vs. Wolverine, voiced by Nolan North. Deadpool acts as one of Professor Thornton's military strike team Team X, Lady Deathstrike, Omega Red and Sabretooth in the Weapon X program, seeking to capture Wolverine and the Hulk in order to brainwash them and convert them into the ultimate weapons. He frequently annoys his teammates with his wisecracks. Wade Wilson. Deadpool appears in X-Men Origins, Wolverine, portrayed by Ryan Reynolds. He is a highly skilled, wisecracking but greatly amoral mercenary who wields a pair of katanas with superhuman athleticism and skill sufficient to deflect fully automatic weapons fire. He is supposedly killed by Victor Creed, but is later revealed to have been transformed by Colonel William Stryker into mutant killer weapon stunts performed by Scott Adkins that possesses other mutants' powers, including Scott Summers' optic blasts, John Wraith's teleportation, Wolverine's healing factor, and a pair of extendable blades resembling the character's prized swords. Stryker is able to completely control him thanks to Chris Bradley's technopathy. He is referred to by Stryker as the Deadpool because the compatible powers of the other mutants have been pooled together into one being. Wolverine and Victor fight Deadpool in the film's climax and manage to defeat him by decapitating him and sending him falling into a cooling tower of a nuclear power plant, although a post-credits scene appearing in DVD releases and some theatrical presentations of the film implies Deadpool is still alive, as a hand is shown reaching out for his still-living head amid the rubble of the destroyed tower. Reports hinted at a spin-off of the X-Men film series starring Deadpool as far back as 2009, with Ryan Reynolds attached to reprise his role. According to Empire, a script was in development, and Deadpool would break the fourth wall during the film. Paul Wernick and Rhett Reese were attached to write the script for the film. On April 8, 2011, VFX artist Tim Miller was hired to make his directing debut. Originally, the film was set to be rated PG-13, but the rating was later reconsidered to an R rating with the possible addition of gore. In October 2013, Reynolds and Miller said that the film was close to being greenlit. On July 28, 2014, a VFX test footage for the film was leaked on the internet through social news sites and movie blogs. The test footage features a motion capture performance of the character by Reynolds. However, it was discovered that the footage was from 2012, when Miller was developing the project. On July 29, the test footage was officially released online by Blur Studio, the company who created the test footage. On September 18, 2014, after hearing positive feedback from the leaked footage, Fox officially announced that the film had been given the green light for a February 12, 2016 release date and is part of the X-Men film series. On December 4, 2014, it was confirmed that Reynolds would reprise his role for the film, with filming started in March 2015 and ended in May 2015. On December 3, 2013, Rob Liefeld confirmed that Cable and Deadpool would be appearing in an X-Force spin-off to the X-Men film series, with Ryan Reynolds returning as the latter. The film will be released sometime in the year 2017. Video games. Deadpool appears in X-Men Legends 2, Rise of Apocalypse, voiced by John Kassir. Deadpool appears as playable character in Marvel Ultimate Alliance, with John Kassir reprising his speaking role. Wade Wilson appears in the video game adaptation of X-Men Origins, Wolverine, voiced by Stephen Bloom. His Deadpool weapon-she transformation is the final boss. Deadpool appears as a playable character in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, again voiced by John Kassir. Also during the credits, Deadpool confronts one of the writers with a complaint about the game not starring him. In the Wii, PSP and PS2 versions, he is playable from the start and appears during the credit sequence and load screens watching television while sitting in a recliner. Ultimate Deadpool appears as a villain in Spider-Man: Shattered Dimensions, with Nolan North reprising his speaking role. Deadpool appears as a playable fighter in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Fate of Two Worlds, voiced again by Nolan North. He is frequently featured opposite of Capcom's Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Deadpool is a playable character in Marvel Superhero Squad Online, voiced by Tom Kenny. Deadpool appears as an unlockable character in Marvel Avengers Alliance. Deadpool's costume is available as downloadable content for the game Little Big Planet, as part of Marvel Costume Kit 6. Deadpool is a playable character in the MMORPG Marvel Heroes, again voiced by Nolan North. Deadpool, an action game based on the character, was developed by High Moon Studios and published by Activision in 2013, with Nolan North reprising his voice role once again. Deadpool is a playable character in LEGO Marvel Superheroes, once again voiced by Nolan North. Deadpool has his own table in Marvel Pinball. Nolan North reprised his role as voice actor. Deadpool is featured in Marvel Puzzle Quest on a limited storyline where he attacks all the heroes and villains in a quest for ISO 8 and chimichangas. Deadpool is a playable character in Marvel Contest of Champions. Toys. Deadpool has his debut in action figure form in 1992 in the Toy Biz X-Men's X-Force line. Deadpool has an action figure from Toy Biz along with Dupe in 2004 and is considered one of the most valuable Marvel Legend figures. Deadpool appears in a 3-pack Marvel Universe X-Force set with Wolverine and Warpath. Deadpool has an action figure by Hasbro Marvel Legends Epic Heroes line in 2012. Deadpool appears in a Marvel Universe Taco Truck box set with the Deadpool Corps, which was sold at the Hasbro booth and SDCC in 2013. Deadpool appeared in minifigure form alongside Magneto and Wolverine in the LEGO set 6866 Wolverine's Chopper Showdown in 2012. Other Reynolds filmed footage of himself seated in the Deadpool costume as a trailer for the Deadpool movie trailer and at the end of an extended trailer for the 2015 film Fantastic Four. Reynolds reprised his role as Deadpool in short film released on his YouTube channel for Halloween 2015, titled How Deadpool Spent Halloween. Deadpool was featured in a bonus episode of Epic Rap Battles of History where he went against Star Wars bounty hunter Boba Fett in a rap battle.